What's up guys, SeaOtterGamer here, back with another Saturday morning bonus video. Now, one of the questions that I see thrown around a lot from newer Let's Players is, what game should I play? Or, an equally valid question would be, how do I pick a good game to record? These questions sound very similar, but they're actually very different. See, the beginner who asked the first question, what game should I play, is merely looking for an easy list of popular or easy games to record. However, the games on this list may or may not be the right game for you to choose. This brings me to the second question, which I believe to be the more beneficial of the two. How do I pick a good game to record? Now, when you are picking a good game to record, there are several things that you should think about. First, would anyone be interested in watching this game being played? The answer here is always yes. If there is a game out there, there is somebody out there who would be interested in watching you play. Now, there are some games that cater to this better than others. You should pick a game that you think would be interesting for the viewer. First-person shooters, horror games, action games, those are all great places to start, while RPGs may be a bit trickier. See, usually RPGs have quite a bit of grinding involved, which may not be terribly interesting for your viewer. If you're going to pick an RPG, be prepared to do plenty of editing or grinding off camera instead. Alright, second point. You should play a game that you know very well. When you're first starting off, or even if you have a few LPs under your belt, being familiar with a game has several advantages. First, you know what to expect, you know how to play the game, and you already have the strategy down. This takes some of the stress away from playing and allows you to focus on the commentary more. However, there is a whole classification of blind Let's Plays that cater to an audience who's looking for a Let's Player to struggle and figure out the game for the very first time. Usually horror games do better as blind Let's Plays. An example of this would be my first look videos, where I play a game for the very first time. These videos are generally harder to commentate since you have to focus more on the gameplay, but lets you have more unique and actual reactions to your commentary than a game that you've played plenty of times before. Alright, third point. You should play a game that you enjoy. Now, this is the most important consideration. If you remember only one thing about this video, remember this. If you're not having fun recording, the audience will pick up on that. And if you're not having fun, they are not having fun. Furthermore, if you aren't having fun, they will leave. And more importantly, if you are not having fun, then you are missing out on the point of making Let's Play videos. See, they're incredibly fun and addicting to make, and the last thing you want to do is burn yourself out and to stop doing it. Alright, finally, you should consider the length of the game as well. The longer the game, the less likely you are to finish the series. Now, some games are almost impossible to finish a series on because of how incredibly vast they are. I'm looking at you, Skyrim. To pick on Skyrim a bit, there are loads of great Let's Plays for this game, but there are very few that are actually completed. A lot of time, the content creator gets bored or burnt out or takes a break and never finishes the series. If you're just starting out, I suggest you pick a game that you know you can finish. Similarly, you should plan out how long your episodes are. I suggest probably somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes a piece. You could go up to 20 or so. This will give you a good idea of how many episodes it will take for you to complete your series. Now, obviously, there are other things to consider, such as your commentary style, but this should give you a pretty good idea on where to start. So to reiterate, you should pick a game that you know very well, that is enjoyable for you, and that is of a reasonable length. You got a good game in mind? Good! Now, go start recording! Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down, but please leave a comment down below. It helps out my channel immensely. And on this page is a link to my Twitter account, as well as a link to my previous video for you to check out. Thank you guys very much. SeaOtter out.